Today is postings and notices, so we're going to quickly go over any items that you need to have displayed for compliance and survey at your agency. And I'm going to go through each item, and then if you have any questions, post them in the comments and let me know. So current postings include any state licensure that you've gotten for your business or agency. And in general, you're going to have a state license. This does vary state by state by what is required to have. So for hospice, a lot of states require like a CON or a certificate of need. So if you had that, you would need to display that as well. Any accreditation certification you have should be displayed. Any state specific, like I said, survey, if you're just a state surveyed entity or a state licensed entity, that would be displayed. I have seen different ways to display licenses, but pretty much what I see everyone doing is putting them in a nice looking frame and having a long table somewhere near the entry or in the waiting area or lobby area where those are displayed. Your org chart should be displayed somewhere, a clear waiver if you have one, your designation and alternate of your medical director or for hospice physician. So if you have an administrator, your current administrator and the alternate should be posted somewhere. Notices of privacy practices. That is something that many people don't have posted, but it is required to be somewhere. So you could put that, both on your website and somewhere obscure, like maybe in the bathroom even. And then you want to have your patient bill of rights or your patient rights and responsibilities posted. Your grievance and non-discrimination policies should be readily available. Some people, like I said, just put these in a binder on a table in the waiting area. Like if you have couches or chairs, they'll just put this in a plastic sheet protector there. Assurance of compliance, if you have that, that's a OCR assurance of compliance, and that's pretty specific, but that's something that, you may have. Current postings for all agencies include the federal 5-in-1 poster, which is kind of like there's 5 different things on one poster. It's a big, long one. Usually people get that from their HR company. They'll send those. But I know you can order them online as well. If you have an integrity hotline, that should be posted. Usually that's in the bathroom from what I've seen. But if you don't have an integrity hotline, you still have to have a way for anyone to reach your compliance officer, with whether that be with complaints or concerns. That can be their you can put their email. If you have a general email inbox for compliance or complaints, you can put that in there. I see that hung in the bathroom sometimes in the staff, if there's a staff kitchen or break room, or if there's, like I said, a general lobby area, that'll be out there too. So you need to have the state workplace laws for your state. And then you also need to have the OSHA 300 form, which is posted in February and then taken down at the end of April and filed. So that is a form that lists any and all injuries in the workplace that occurred from that rolling calendar year. And you need to save those, and you need to make sure that those are posted. And usually those are like stuck on a bulletin board somewhere because it's just a weird little paper. So it's really not anything like that other people need to see, but it does need to be readily available and posted. So they're going to also want to see MSDS. So there is an MSDS poster. There's a 3E poster, but there's also, they're going to want to see that you have MSDS, which is material safety data sheets for any chemicals on site. So if you've got Clorox wipes under the sink in the bathroom, you should have an MSDS sheet for that. Again, don't overthink it. Go to the Clorox website, print out the hazard warning that if you drink this, you'll get sick. You can pretty much find the MSDS online for any kind of chemical. Anything you have in your agency at all for cleaning, for insects, for any type of chemical use, if it says keep out of reach of children, you need to have an MSDS for it. And again, just print those out from online and put them in a binder. Very simple. Evidence that no equipment is stored or housed at the office location. So, like patient lifts, patient hospital beds, those things are not to be stored at the office because you're not a DME warehouse. If you're a DME warehouse and you're a DME vendor, maybe that's different. And then evidence that all your supplies are not expired. So this is not necessarily a posting, but if you have a surveyor come in, they're going to check all the dates on the boxes of any and all supplies that you have. So if you're storing, wipes or shampoo, or, maybe you have your wound care stuff at the office, you need to go through, make sure if that's opened, that it's kept sealed in a separate container. Make sure that items are stored correctly so they can't be stored on the floor. Even boxes cannot be stored on the floor. And then also that they're dated within the dates. This is a really easy tag to get. And then medication should be kept separately from your staff food fridge. Easy there. Easy thing to put in place, and hopefully you have that. And then there should be a posting on the fridge that says food only or medication only. And then you need to have a posting. It doesn't have to be posted on the fridge. That might be a misconception, but you need to have the fridge temps checked daily for any fridge with medication. Usually if you have medications like even TB, we're just talking about a little TB vial. If you have that on site, then you need to have a fridge temp in there indicating that you're keeping it within the right range, which I think is like 32 to 42. That might be wrong. I don't have that in front of me, but it has to be checked that it's within the range. Because even if you're taking the fridge temp every day and the fridge temp is 46 or 30, you're still going to get a tag like what happened, or if you didn't keep it within range and note that you adjusted the temperature, then, if it's consistently 30, or if it's consistently, I think one facility we had, it was like consistently 46 degrees. And even though they kept track of the temperature, they didn't adjust the fridge to turn it down to keep it within range of the medication. So I think it was an insulin fridge, and it clearly said on the bottle, like, must be kept under 42 degrees or whatever the guideline is. I'm just using that as an example. But it wasn't. So they did get a tag for that. And then lastly, you need to make sure that you have a exit sign, a fire escape plan posted on the wall, how you would get out of your office, what the escape routes are, and then you need to have a no smoking sign. So signage is different by state, and you also need to have evidence that the hours and contact information is provided. So that would be your hours of operation. So maybe on the door, you have a nice sign that says our business office hours are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Please call this number with any after hours patient needs or deliveries or whatever you might need for after hours. You would put that on your sign. But if you're a hospice, you are required to have on-call services posted that includes a contact number. And then they'll also ask you for your on-call calendar. So they're going to ask you for a calendar of who's on call and who's backup. And that's pretty standard. So I think that covered everything. Let me know if I missed anything for your state. I always like to hear the different requirements that states have. Hopefully this was helpful for you. And you can just run through that kind of like a checklist and, go through each of those areas to make sure that you're compliant. I'm going to run through my checklist one more time. And it looks like, I think we've covered everything. Some of my checklist is not necessarily paper postings, like, they're going to ask for your QAPI plan and things like that. And we will go through those items when we talk more about quality. Med fridge, items in the med fridge are not expired. Evidence of implementation of pickup, transport, and disposal of hazardous waste or contaminated materials. They may ask you for your hazmat, your hazardous materials contract or pickup schedule. If they see a biohazard bag or waste bin. So sometimes at facilities they'll have a dirty linen room where they have that, biohazard waste. So if your office should have a biohazard waste bin, they may want to see that pickup schedule or your process for how those are handled at the office. So just be prepared to show them that. Okay, that is everything I have for office postings and notices. Did I forget anything that you have posted? Put it in the comments for me and let me know. I'm excited to see if this was helpful for you, if you already have all these things in place and this was a no-brainer, or if you found something new here. I always like to hear that feedback. So have a great day, and we will talk again tomorrow. I think tomorrow is personnel files. So, I'm going to try to make a checklist for you guys for personnel files, and feel free to let me know if there's anything that would be helpful for you.